Is cybersecurity an illusion? Who knows? Let's find out in this episode of Protect Your Assets. In today's episode of Protect Your Assets, we're going to talk about whether or not cybersecurity is in fact just an illusion. And it really just depends, right? It depends on you and your organization. You treat it as an illusion, right? Sure, there's every day you hear about ransomware, malware, breaches, and there's all sorts of nasty things. If you haven't been breached, you're going to be breached. You're breached already and don't even know it. Eventually, everybody's going down. We've all heard it, right? See it on the news. We hear it in all the forums and all the Facebook posts and stuff. But at the end of the day, cybersecurity isn't about eliminating all threats or protecting against all threats. It's about minimizing the risk to your organization and to your customer. So, how do we do that? Do you think it's through compliance? I wonder if being compliant is the solution to being cyber secure and minimizing risk. Now I'm going to go with no on that one, because if you look at all the major breaches, they were all compliant in their industries, right? Target was PCI DSS compliant. You know, how many hospitals and stuff, you know, they're HIPAA compliant. So at the end of the day, compliancy is only a bare minimum, right? It's just the bare minimum that the current legislation requires of you in order to be considered safe. But we know that that's not true, and that's why, you know, the industry has provided us with, you know, security frameworks and risk management frameworks and controls and all these things, such as NIST, the cybersecurity framework, and the CIS security controls, right? These are great places to start. And by utilizing these tools, it helps us build a strong foundation that's going to allow us to actually have a strong cybersecurity program. It's going to help us mature the program. It's going to help us manage our risk and know, right, we're going to actually understand, you know, at least from a 90, 95, 99 percentile, what that risk is that we're introducing every time we introduce a new service, every time we use a new piece of software. All these things are part of doing cybersecurity. So the real question is it an illusion? No. It just depends on whether or not your organization thinks that compliance equals security. It doesn't, right? But security does equal compliance. You know, if you focus on having good cybersecurity hygiene, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to have compliance in any regulatory body that you have to, you know, be aware of. PCI, hey, what's it about? It's about controlling who has access to your card data. It's about encrypting your card data. And it's about segregating the card data away from other areas of the network that don't need to have access to that. Well, that's just normal segregation. Those are things that we should do by default. And if we put good processes into place in order to establish that, then it's not going to be that big of a deal. It's not going to hurt our innovation. It's not going to, you know, impede our ability to adopt new technologies, because it's about just having good processes and good corporate buy-in. You know, do the employees buy into it? Do our executive leadership teams buy into it? If the answer is yes, then it'll be smooth. The best example I can give is when you have to go through security at the airport. Right? Like, holy freaking crap. Like, who wants to have to do that? But did you ever notice that if you just get there on time, you know, followed all the rules, know what the rules are in advance, what you can and can't have, what needs to be checked, what can be in your carry-on, know the process. If you know the process and everyone else in the line knows the process, then what you're going to realize is that you just get through the freaking line quicker. Is it just as quick as walking through without a check? No. But when you go through without a line check at all, you have a higher risk, right? I'm not going to debate how effective TSA security checks are and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it is a mechanism to reduce the risk of somebody just walking right through with something that can be harmful to everybody else. Same thing with cybersecurity. If you have the processes down and everybody understands the processes, use the processes, then you're not going to get stuck behind that person that's tying up 15 minutes because they decided they weren't going to understand any of the processes before going through the security checkout. So let me know if you agree, disagree. If you have any further comments, I'd love to hear them. Constructive only, please. We're trying to, build a community that is helpful to people. There's a lot of different ways to do things. This is one way to do them. Maybe you have a different way. Maybe it's better, in your eyes or whatever, and that's fine. You may have been successful with it. I've been successful using these. So, to each his own. But I'm always eager to learn. I'm always eager to teach. So please do. And until the next time, make sure you protect your assets.